You're listening to DraftKings Network.
God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Stugotz.
Thank you, Mikey A. Mikey A, are you concerned about Billy Gill? I mean, just
A little bit. He looks a little off today.
he does. You okay?
So do you, though.
I feel a little bit off. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
What do you feel?
I don't know. Just a little bit tired, stuffed up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that time of year.
Is it?
Yeah, allergy season or whatever. Flu
Okay.
season. I don't know those. It's a season for sure. It's football season.
It is football season.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You know
Well,
what-
football does this to you. It does. It makes you sick.
It
I
does
mean,
kind of, yeah. Like I know people might think that this is silly to say, but I feel like we've been through it. Like this is what you feel like 8 weeks into football season,
right.
You know what I mean?
We need a bye week. Yeah.
We do need a bye week. Oh God, I would love a bye week.
Goodness.
You know what? God
That's
bless
an
football
idea.
should get a bye week. We should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be bad.
Right?
You know what?
Preferably Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, well, no.
Nah.
Thanksgiving week ends up being a busier week
It's a
because
big
there's
week,
Thursday
yeah.
games. Now there's a
That's
Black
why you
Friday
take the
game,
bye
which is
week.
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
A Jets Dolphins Black Friday.
Yeah, I'm
game.
excited about that
That's
one.
going to be fun.
Yeah, we're inching closer to that one. Dolphins are in Germany this week, which is
They're taking on the
Odd.
Chiefs, who are coming off a loss now, huh?
yeah. The Chiefs don't look good.
They know something's off in Kansas City.
I don't know what it is. They said that Patrick Mahomes was battling the flu, but something. I mean, the obvious, right? And we don't need to go there. But Taylor wasn't there, so like that is that going to be a story moving forward? Who knows? I mean,
Right.
I guess we're in control of that if we're making it a story.
Are you trying to tell me that a story moving forward will be if the Chiefs continue to lose when Taylor is not at the game, that Taylor needs to be at the games?
I think that we were told basically that that's done. Like the attending of the games is done because the tour is starting up again in a couple weeks. So I think that it was announced that she will not be at the game because it's tour time, which means moving forward, you would think she won't be at the game. So who knows what's going to happen. Also, a billionaire now. They announced over the weekend, or last week, that Taylor Swift's now a billionaire. Also a billionaire.
I thought she
Johnson.
already was. Magic is? Really?
Yeah, Magic Johnson became a billionaire.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured Taylor already was a billionaire. I got to be honest. I figured Magic was already a billionaire. I mean, he owns part of the Dodgers.
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't own it anymore?
Well, he
did at one point, right?
He's owned part of the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the Commanders at different times. I think right now he's on the Commanders.
Right now he has the
I
Commanders.
think he's
He's
sold
part of
all
the
his
ownership
other
group for that,
ownership
yeah.
stakes. Yeah.
They lost to the Eagles yesterday. That was a tough game.
Did.
Yes.
They almost beat the Eagles.
I know, but they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a good loss.
It was. Put it on the poll. Was it a good loss for the Commanders yesterday?
Was it not? I mean, that game, by the way, looked absolutely dreadful until the fourth quarter where they scored a combined 35 points.
Yes.
But it was like 10-13 or something, it felt like, going into the fourth quarter.
We will get to dreadful, my friend. We will get there shortly. Okay?
Is Sam Howell good?
I have no idea.
He had almost 400 yards yesterday. He had 397 yards.
I thought he had 400.
I think he had 397.
I'll look it up.
It's a fair question to ask, though. I mean, is Sam Howell good?
We also saw for the first time the tush push, the brotherly shove. Not work.
Yes.
And then later on,
A wrinkle.
And that wrinkle is dangerous and scary.
What was it?
Mm-hmm.
They faked it. It was like a third and short, right in the red, inside the
tush
10.
Push?
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
fake.
Yeah,
And the
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, they ended up
Wow.
doing like an outside DeAndre Swift
Yeah,
run
Swift
for a
just
touchdown.
went outside.
Really?
No,
Yeah, he wasn't touched till he got to the goal line.
Walked in.
Yeah.
He had like 4 blockers.
Were you shocked when they stopped it the first time? He fumbled, right? Jalen Hurts fumbled?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He fumbled.
Like right on the goal line.
So they figured out a way to stop the tush push, and that is by Jalen Hurts fumbling. And then the Eagles said, okay, we're going to counter your counter with our counter.
They let it go too early in the season, though.
Yeah.
You got to save that one.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I would have kept it going.
Correct.
I mean, it's a fluke fumble, right? I mean, whatever. You could say it's a fluke fumble. I said it's a fluke fumble. You can argue that. But they fumbled it, but it's still working. Keep doing it, and then, like, playoffs, late playoffs,
Correct.
NFC Championship.
Yeah,
That's when
you can't blow that in October
Yeah,
game
'cause
against
now-
the Commanders. You just can't. Yeah.
But now that's in the back of the defender's head. So now that should open up the tush push again.
Yeah.
You
Well,
would think.
so
Billy,
now-
I have a question for you, an important question.
Oh.
Does this make Jalen Hurts a two-trick pony now?
Oh, wow.
Because now he has the
Great
second
question.
wrinkle.
Billy, do you know how good Jalen Hurts was in that game yesterday? I mean, he was ridiculous.
He was not
319 yards, four touchdowns,
touchdowns,
no interceptions.
I know.
One trick pony.
Yeah, Sam Howell though. Well, now I would.
Sam Howell what?
397 yards, 4 touchdowns.
One interception though.
Yeah.
That one interception's key.
Okay, but Jalen Hurts had
7
one fumble.
game.
Sounds like
right.
Sounds like Sam Howell needs some help.
Really?
I mean,
I don't know.
let's call magic.
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He's got the cash.
Exactly.
Right.
Fix it.
Your boy Kirk Cousins went out yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday
torn
was-
Achilles out for the year.
Yesterday was QB injury Sunday.
Yes.
It was kind of crazy all the quarterbacks that got hurt. Kenny
Right.
Pickett got hurt. Tyrod Taylor got hurt. Kirk Cousins got hurt. Matthew Stafford got hurt. Desmond Ritter got hurt. But I mean, Desmond Ritter, who cares?
Desmond Ritter hurt himself.
He got
poor
taken out for a concussion check.
Yeah.
He passed. They sat him anyway.
Yeah, it said possible concussion
Yeah.
as his listed injury, which, by the way, speaking of possible concussions,
Here we go.
Brock Purdy,
Yeah.
how do you go into concussion protocol and get out of concussion protocol like 4 days later? That doesn't seem like it's the way things are supposed to go.
Right. I don't know. I don't have the answer for you.
Are the 49ers good?
I have no idea.
They're crawling up the fraud list.
They were good.
Crawling up the fraud list.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 in a row. You got to be on the fraud list.
Before we get to the 49ers, if they're good or not, Mikey A., do you believe that Phillip Rivers' agent sent a text to the Vikings before Kirk Cousins left the field?
Wow.
I think he has them already typed, and he just has to hit send.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
I
he
like
saw
that.
him
He
go
had it
down,
set up,
and it was
right?
just send.
he
He has
has
a generic message in notes.
yeah,
And he just-
and then
yeah.
you just like replace
Hey,
like the
I
name
saw
of the
your
quarterback,
quarterback
the
went
team.
down.
Yeah, exactly right.
Replace team name, replace team quarterback.
I would
send it.
love to go
You don't
help
think he has
out.
one for each team?
No.
I mean, come
Why?
on.
No.
I don't
No.
know.
Who has time
He's
for
got
that?
a cover
you're
letter,
right.
form letter.
No,
you're
dude.
right.
Yesterday,
ChatGPT wrote one. That's it.
he sent out 6 of them yesterday. Like every quarterback that got hurt, he sent a letter to the team. I feel like.
Even on some teams where their quarterback
Might have
didn't
to
get
rescind
hurt.
the one
right?
to the Titans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will Levis, huh?
He's there, you know.
Yeah.
Young,
Wait.
Stroud, Richardson, Bajan, or Levis.
Hold on, hold
He
on, hold
has to
on.
redo
Whoa,
his
whoa,
rookie
whoa.
quarterback board. You're right.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
Will
We will get to that.
Okay.
Don't worry. Because yesterday was our Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. It's a big day for you.
It was.
I know.
CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. This is what everybody's been waiting for.
Yes.
And by that, I mean no one's been waiting for it because both teams are dreadful. But everybody was waiting. Do we just get to it right now?
If you want to, sure. We have Lucy coming up here. She went to Florida, Georgia.
Yeah.
We'll cover some college football with her. She'll be joining us. But yeah, if you want to go to it now, go ahead.
Well, so yesterday was probably the biggest game that we were going to see of Stroud, Young, or Richardson.
Yes.
And Richardson
Well, he's out for the year.
is out for the year. So obviously, he's not someone that can be participating in that game. That game, not a very good game, if we're going to be honest, right?
No.
13-15. And the kicker had to kick the game-winning field goal like 6 times, which was really weird. And I was convinced that he was going to miss
Yeah.
the last one, even though it was a total chip shot.
Well, what happened there? I was stuck on the Jets-Giants game. I'm sorry.
Why? That was the
Well,
worst
because I'm a
game I've
Jets
ever
fan.
seen.
Right.
God, that was dreadful.
I know.
Diana Rossini was supposed to come on today, and I was like, great, we can just put all of this in that segment, and we won't have to talk about the Jets. We can just ask her. Because here's a question that I've
I'm
been
doing
wondering.
my best to avoid it, Billy.
Here's a question that I've been
I
wondering.
went to Phillip Rivers. I mean,
Yeah. Here's a question that I've been wondering about the Jets, the Giants, and MetLife
Right.
in general.
yes.
Has it just been raining since week 1? Like, has there been a clean game played in that stadium? It just seems
Yes.
like a dreadful place to play football. Every game is miserable there for some reason.
It's a miserable place.
Billy, it
New Jersey,
has
I'm talking
rained
about.
19 of 23 weeks up here.
Yeah.
And it's
23 weekends.
Weekends.
always on Sunday.
19 of the last
That's
23
crazy.
weekends it has rained. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
and
You
it's
combine
not-
that with 2 terrible quarterbacks.
I was going to say,
and
it's
boom.
not like you're playing with great pieces to begin with. They don't need more disadvantages. It's so weird. And lots of people were getting hurt. That's the game that Tyrod Taylor got hurt in. Darren Waller got hurt in that game. Like, people are
Right.
getting hurt left and right on that field. Why didn't you put a roof on that stadium?
You're asking me like I built the stadium. Like, like I was
You're-
in charge.
You're a connected man.
Right. I know, but I mean, I don't know why I didn't put a roof on the stadium.
My
Billy.
favorite,
I should
Paul
have thought
Woody.
of it.
Yeah.
I should have thought of it.
You
I
should
mean,
have.
My
yeah.
favorite stat from that game was the Giants' net passing yards in the second half was -1.
Yeah, I don't care.
They would not let DeVito
Negative
throw the
8 for the game.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I know.
I saw-
-9 for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
love it.
And it took
saw.
overtime to beat them. I love my team.
Zach Wilson had a drive. Say what you will.
He had a drive.
Zach Wilson had a drive.
He had a drive. Our boy Dable made
Rough
some
Sunday for
boneheaded
Dable.
decision. Yeah, he
We got to get him on the show again soon while we still can.
Before he's a coordinator again?
Yeah, the coordinator at Wichita State or whatever.
No, I mean,
No, he'll get an NFL job.
go back to the Bills.
Right.
Fix the Bills.
Right, go fix Josh Allen again. Yeah. What a stupid league.
I'm so happy.
The Jets won.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Graham
won.
Gano, missed too. He was one of our BB picks.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, he missed.
He missed
two
too.
yesterday.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be throwing already. I'm just going to say that.
It's weird.
That has disaster written all over it.
Well, why? He's going to get hurt throwing?
There will be a setback, or he's going to come back too soon and he's going to re-aggravate something. He's going to get injured again. Something's going to happen to throw off this timeline.
Yeah.
And it's going to mess him up moving forward next season or something.
We'll see.
You think he's just going to come back like week 14, week 17, and everything's going to be good?
I don't, to be honest. Mikey, are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Like no one in the history of that injury
He tore
has
his
ever.
Achilles. He ain't coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I've never seen someone after sustaining that type of injury on a field throwing a football that quickly. I've never seen it.
If you're Kirk Cousins, you're like, where'd you go? What'd you do? What country did you do this in?
Can I get some of that?
Send me there. Exactly right.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Can I get some? Billy, I don't know what to tell you. The Dolphins, if they get home field advantage in the playoffs, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're unbeatable at home. The offense wasn't even clicking yesterday, and they still put up 35 points on Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Tua has Belichick's number for some reason. It's weird. He's beat him 6 times.
Yeah.
Lost him 0 times. This is going to be a big week for the Dolphins in Germany against the Chiefs because
It's a big game.
The Chiefs laid an egg.
Yeah.
And you're playing for the number 1 seed in the East or in the AFC right now.
You are.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what the game is for.
Yeah.
That's interesting, actually.
I'm a little concerned though. This has Chiefs bounce back game written all over it.
Right. If you're a Dolphin fan, I don't think you don't like the Chiefs coming into this game having lost to Russell Wilson and the Broncos. And by the way, that's the first time Patrick Mahomes has lost on the road to an AFC West team.
Yeah.
I saw that
Think
was
about that.
I thought that was a stat that they had gone 40 games without losing by more than 5 points.
Yeah.
Right.
40 games in a row.
He didn't look good either.
No.
He was
No.
battling the flu though.
I could see a lot of
I
like
don't know why I just did quotes.
I could see like a lot of coverage sacks this week because if Travis Kelce doesn't get open, I don't trust Rashid Rice to get open against the Dolphins.
Well, Jalen Ramsey, by the way, welcome to the Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big game.
So exciting.
Look at you.
Yeah. I'm nervous about the Dolphins. I'm going to be totally honest
They're
with you.
going to the Super Bowl. Billy, I'm excited to bring on Lucy this week because Lucy went to her first ever Florida-Georgia game.
Ooh.
And so I'm excited to see how the experience was for her. Lucy is here. We do this every Monday here on God Bless Football because what happens is college football is played on Saturday and then the NFL is played on Sunday and then we forget about all the college football on Saturday. And Billy and I will not stand for that here on God Bless Football.
No, we will not.
We will not. So Lucy is the biggest college football fan that we know. She covers college football for our show and for Meadowlark Media. She's with us now. How was the game, Lucy?
The game was bad. The game was not enjoyable.
Right.
The tailgating was amazing. I have never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah.
We got there probably 3-ish hours early, and it was the most insane tailgate scene I've ever been a part of, just because there was so much tailgating happening, but it was very collected, where Florida and Georgia fans were all tailgating together and they were all drinking together. It absolutely lived up to the nickname of world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Yeah, it was great. It is great. I've been to that game 2 times, and I've had a blast each time. They're drinking. I feel like Florida and Georgia, if there was a matchup of 2 college fan bases and you put them together, I feel like in terms of drinking and partying, Georgia, Florida probably 1-2 for me, you know?
They're high up there. I would say the Big Ten can drink pretty well too, but that's absolutely a fair assessment. Everyone was drunk.
Right. Everyone was drunk. The game got off to a good start, 7-0 Florida, and then it was a blowout after that, huh?
Yeah, I was in the Florida section for that touchdown, and I was like, thank God, this is awesome. We're going to have something competitive. And then immediately it all went downhill. It was just done.
By the way, I meant to tell you, you dismissed me. I said maybe Kansas, Oklahoma might be the game you should go to this week. You did not go. I don't want to say you dismissed me, but you seem to think
did.
like Oklahoma. You did. Okay, fair.
I did. I
Okay.
did do it. You can
Thank
say
you.
that.
Thank you. You dismissed
Blatantly.
me. Right? And Kansas wins the game outright. I told you that was the game to go to.
You were absolutely right. I still am glad we went to Florida, Georgia. I think it was the correct choice, but Oklahoma, Kansas, I haven't had the chance to watch, but that's been a long time coming. 18 years since Kansas has beat Oklahoma. 2 years ago, they almost did the same thing with Jason Bean. It just didn't work out in the end. Super excited for Kansas. They might be what regulates the Big 12 a little bit because we want a Texas OU final in the Big 12 championship.
All right, I know Mikey A has a question for you, but here, and we'll get to it in a second. We have Lucy or Goosey as well. But here's what I love about college football, Lucy. We went into the weekend thinking it was going to be, for the most part, a bad weekend. Games weren't going to be great. And then all of a sudden, chaos broke out. And that was really cool to see. Like, you had a close game with Washington. You had the upset of Oklahoma. It was a great weekend for college football.
And what I'm so excited about is we only really got that upset with Oklahoma. And if I know anything about college football, it's not if, but when. So we're about to reach, like in Scott Hansen's terms, the witching hour of the college football season,
Yes.
where these big teams that are, like Washington, who has kept it really close against Arizona State and Stanford, these losses are going to come eventually. This is the tough part of the schedule. This is rivalry time where things are just totally different. Like I don't know if it's this week or the week after, but we're going to have like a blood upset week.
Blood upset.
Yeah.
There's going to be a blood. There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of blood. A lot of
Wow.
really good teams are going to lose
A lot of
because
blood.
we're all starting to see the separation naturally occur where like Oklahoma loses to Kansas, Washington can't compete. Then Georgia's out here beating the shit out of Florida. Like it'll all separate.
You seem intrigued by this, Billy.
I'd love
Yes.
a blood week. Yeah.
You do.
Blood week is
do.
so fun.
A bloodbath?
Yeah. Bloodbath.
A red wedding.
It could be this weekend, Lucy. I mean, there are so many great games on the schedule this weekend.
It totally could be, and it's almost like not even a thing that relies on great games because no one expected Washington, Arizona State, or Washington, Stanford to be great games. That's a team that's just begging to lose right now. I don't know what's happened with them, but it's only natural this is going to happen, especially in the Pac-12 where the competition is just so stiff week in, week out.
Right. You have Washington at USC. Like, USC's been bad, but you're not going to be surprised if USC wins that game, right?
Actually, I would be. I would be pretty surprised
Wow.
if USC won that
Really?
game.
Right.
USC
I mean, you said the same thing
should have
about Kansas,
lost.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. USC should have lost to Cal this weekend. They're very bad.
Right. Okay. All right, my bad. Sorry. You
It's
would be
okay.
surprised.
It was a good effort. It was a good
I
effort.
would not be surprised if USC beats Washington. Washington,
That's
to
going to
me,
come back and bite me.
it's a tricky team, Lucy, because they keep winning.
Washington's weird, right?
Yeah, but maybe they had the most impressive win on their resume this year, okay? But it's a weird team in the fact that they've won the last couple of games, Lucy, but they have not been impressive.
No, they haven't at all. And what's weird is their offense hasn't looked good. And that's the entire appeal of Washington football. Like they could not score against Arizona State. Michael Penix Jr. just kept turning the ball over. Right now, I feel very confident in saying if Washington and Oregon meet in the Pac-12 championship game, I think Oregon beats the crap out of them. I don't even think it's close. Oregon is like taken that Washington loss and gone upwards. The way they beat Utah, super convincing. Washington trending the other way.
Right. All right, Mikey, are you ready for your big question for Lucy? We were
Sure.
discussing this right
Sure.
before we started here, and I like the idea of us asking her this and continuing it throughout the season.
Yeah, well, this isn't so much a question as this is a new segment. I want to get Lucy's top 5 college football tailgates. And then as she goes to different tailgates week in and week out, I want to see if we have to update them and knock one out and put one in.
Okay. All right, I like this.
Yeah, so I have my list. I have my top 5. I will say this is just based off of games I have been to this year.
Okay.
Not outside of it, but just this year.
I like that.
Do you know which game you're going to this weekend yet? Or have we
No.
not? You don't know yet? Because LSU,
We're really-
Alabama, I mean,
We
LSU,
are really trying to go to Alabama LSU,
Yes.
but there's a scary chance, Stu, I'm at Iowa Northwestern with you.
why?
Don't do that.
Why?
Don't do that.
I'm going to
Because-
that game because I'm being forced to. I mean,
So this is the situation we are in. We are hoping that Alabama says yes to us.
okay.
Alabama has had a history this season of saying no.
Really?
We got to prove to Clemson Notre Dame. Don't want to go to that anymore.
Okay. No.
No desire to go to
Nope.
that.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Our only other option is Iowa Northwestern, which would be really funny, but I don't really want to go.
Right.
Hopefully Oklahoma State.
Okay. Okay. So wait a second. Alabama is saying no to what? To you covering the game?
Yeah, they're denying our credentials, but I think they don't know me. They don't, and I think if they got the chance to know me, they'd really want me at their games.
Yeah.
I don't take it personally. And Alabama, I'm not mad at you, so please say yes.
Yeah, please say yes. But also, there's a huge game, so they're probably going to say no.
I don't like this at all, by the way. I mean,
I know it's hurtful.
But lots of people
you
put
should
in
be hurt.
credential
Get over
requests.
yourselves. I mean, seriously. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? A lot of people put in credential requests. There's probably a limit.
Right.
I don't take it personally. They're just doing their jobs, and maybe I'm
Yeah.
just being really nice about it in hopes that they see me being really nice, and you're like, know what? That's a nice girl. We'll let her come this week.
Okay.
Do you have a tree behind you made out of something that's not tree material?
Yeah, it's my palm tree lamp.
Oh, okay, duh.
That's a lamp?
Yeah.
How does
Really?
that turn on?
I'll go press the button. There's like a little button.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is very exciting.
it is.
I like when Lucy's okay.
For those on the podcast, she just got up, walked about, I'd say 6 feet, and turned on her palm tree
Yeah.
lamp. It looks like it's just a palm tree with a light bulb in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a couple little light bulbs, and I
Yeah.
also brought something else weird to show you guys today.
Oh, okay, this is great. I like when Lucy's here, but I also like when she shows us around and she shows us her apartment of things.
We could tell.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the weird thing now, or do we want to wait?
No, I want to
Oh,
see. No.
suspense is
Here's what I
killing
want.
me.
I know. Tease the weird thing.
Yeah.
Top 5 tailgates first.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Okay.
we'll bust out the weird thing.
Yeah, we still
okay?
have Lucy or Goosey at some
Yes,
point to get to
right.
also.
We have a lot.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
All right,
a lot
my
to do
top
today.
5
Yes.
tailgates.
Okay.
Based off this year.
Yes.
Number 5 was just at Florida,
Okay.
just in Gainesville.
Just in Gainesville. Got it. Okay.
Just in Gainesville.
Right.
It was solid. There's still work to be done.
Hold on, Billy. What are you laughing
There's
at?
just someone knocking on the
Because,
wall.
you know,
nonstop.
like Lucy said, there's
Nonstop.
work to be done, and this place is under
No,
construction.
I
so
know, but it's nonstop.
It is
Like,
nonstop.
There's a guy banging on the wall. And do we have the ability to take phone calls yet?
No, that we don't.
What is going on
that we
here?
don't. No, they're
This
definitely
is
not
why
putting in a
Alabama
phone.
said no.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4, Florida State LSU.
Okay.
Neutral site game, both really good, like fun party schools. I'm sure they're probably better at Florida State and at LSU.
Right. No one seems to be taking Florida State seriously, Lucy. It's weird.
I get it. If Riley Leonard hadn't got hurt, I think there's a good chance Florida State would have lost that game to Duke. They have been also a team that was like, they're trending a little different than Washington, where earlier in the season they were really itching for a loss. Boston College, Clemson, they were keeping it really close. Now we know how bad Clemson is. I don't think the rest of their schedule is pretty difficult. I believe they have Miami and Florida left. It feels like they could finish undefeated, but they definitely flirted with disaster.
Are they going to be the team? There's always a team, and this week is the first CFP rankings they come out. Are they going to be the team that is left out that we're like, whoa, we didn't see that one coming?
No, they'll make it. I think they'll pretty confidently make it. I imagine it'll probably be 1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 Florida State, and then 4 will most likely be Washington. is my
Ohio
guess.
State?
Ohio State, maybe.
Michigan?
Ohio State hasn't really passed the eye test as much as Washington has. I mean, quality of win, Penn State is probably not as good as we think, but I could see 4 being Washington or Ohio State.
Okay. Let's get to number 3 on your tailgate list here.
Penn State.
Mm.
It was nasty out, and they were out drinking. They were having a good time. They brought couches out to the tailgate. I was impressed. I was really
Nice.
impressed.
I have a question for you. So, in terms of tailgates, is the sadder the place, the better the tailgate?
No,
No?
I've been to a tailgate in Indiana, and that was just too sad.
Okay.
It was really, really rough. I think it's more impressive. I will say that this weekend at Florida, Georgia, the Florida fans were significantly more drunk than Georgia fans, and I think it's directly correlated to them knowing what was going to happen.
Right.
But I won't say it's direct, because I've been to a Purdue tailgate, which is actually not that bad,
Right.
but an Indiana tailgate, terrible. Northwestern tailgate, terrible.
I have a question. So, when we're ranking tailgates, so you say that the Florida fans were more drunk than the Georgia fans were, right?
Yes.
So, is that.
If you're going to get blown out, you might as well be wasted.
But is that viewed as a positive, or is that viewed as a negative, like they can't hang? Like, wow, they're having a really good time, or they just can't hang?
No, they can definitely hang.
Okay.
We got there 3 hours before the game-ish. I am assuming they had probably been there 3-4 hours longer than we had.
Jesus.
So I have no doubt that they can hang. And also, I do think that they planned for an early exit too.
Okay.
So they
All
had
right.
a little less time to work with.
All right, quickly here, number 2.
Number 2 is Iowa.
Okay.
It might sound biased, but think about all the things there are to do in Iowa. Not a ton. They're very good at tailgating.
Right.
I don't know anything about Iowa.
It's funny. You know?
It's
No. What's their
What do you
chief
think it is?
export?
Corn.
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 Yeah, corn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Corn.
Not football players. Number 1.
Corn and tight ends.
Actually, a lot of players in the NFL still.
Tight end.
And
Yeah.
number one, obviously Florida, Georgia this weekend. World's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Wow.
Craziest.
All right, so those are the top 5 tailgates. Now, if you go to one moving forward here, we'll replace one of those with a new one.
Well, presumably you replaced the last one.
Right. We didn't get to your surprise. We'll get to it next. That and Lucy or Goosey coming up next.
I have sad news for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were sent a package. I believe it was by someone that made it with their 3D printer, and we can't get to it right now. It's in the mailroom, so we're going to have to wait for our next edition of Send Us Stuff. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more sad than that.
Oh, well, like what? What were you thinking?
I don't know. Something sadder. You'll still get the package.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We could be positive and just think like, hey, we'll get a package later this week. But
they're only sending stuff to Lucy, I've noticed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
No one sent me a thing.
Lucy got a care package of like from. Can I say what school sent you something last week or no?
Yeah.
She got this whole like Iowa soccer care package last week, which was pretty great.
I know.
Which is great because I worry about Lucy's relationship with Iowa because I feel like maybe we don't put her in the best spots with Iowa. You know what I mean? Because Lucy is a journalist, as we all know.
She is.
As I
A
just
great
held
one.
up,
Yes.
Lucille Bluth for some reason towards the camera. Lucy's a journalist, as we all know, and you know, we ask her questions, and she has to be forthright, and that's the problem sometimes is that we ask her questions that we know are not going to, you know, yield positive answers, and then she's the one that says said thing because again, she's a journalist, just being forthright,
Right.
and then people hold it against her, and it's completely unfair. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I'd like that clipped, please. Someone send that to me. I'm going to need that.
What's your surprise?
Wait. I have a new segment that I think that we should do.
A new segment?
Yeah, a new segment that we should do.
I mean, 2 new segments in one day for Lucy?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Lucy, this segment is going to be Metalark apologizes to blank on behalf of Lucy. And every week we'll come out and we will say who we need to apologize to as a company, kind of clear your name on whatever things have been done that have put you in trouble because of us. Does that make sense?
Yes, I don't know if that many people are mad at me right now.
Okay.
Just Alabama.
Open door policy on this one. Whenever something goes wrong that an apology is needed, we will apologize on behalf of whoever needs to be apologized for to clear your name in that thing, and we will take the fall for that. Is that okay?
I think that is perfect.
Okay, great.
I was usually the only one that's really mad at me all the time.
Okay.
They just have to work through that.
Well, here's the thing. I never plan on going to Iowa, so I don't care if they're mad at me.
Does Iowa realize no one would be talking about Iowa if not for you?
No.
I don't think that's
They
true.
don't
No,
realize
it
that.
is true.
All right, Metalark would like to apologize to Iowa on behalf of Lucy, as she was
No.
not part of this segment. Those are the thoughts and opinions of Stugotz that no one thinks about or cares about Iowa. Those are directly Stugotz's thoughts and opinions,
Right.
not Lucy Rodine's.
I'm mad at Alabama right now. I'm trying to get you into the Alabama game.
Well, we're going about it the wrong way.
What do you mean?
Setting like scorched earth before you get the credentials is not the way to get the credentials.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not mad at them.
No.
They're just doing their jobs.
Oh, they're
Okay.
doing great jobs.
Yeah.
They're
great
doing
jobs.
great jobs.
Oh,
We don't no one send anything to them.
Right.
It's not gonna help.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
I'm sending a text. I'm just
Definitely don't send a bag of poop.
I'm
Don't do
calling
that.
in a favor. That's all I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah, if Stugotz wants to handle this, I trust him.
Who are you
But
calling in a
the
favor
listeners,
to?
let's trust God.
In Tuscaloosa, Alabama, you're
just said he
calling
was
in
well connected.
A favor.
Yeah.
He just said he was well connected.
Who said?
You said.
I
You
know,
just
but
said
I
that
said
he.
I'm well connected.
Yeah. How come he didn't put a stadium on
Yeah, because
a
I was
roof on
joking.
MetLife?
Obviously, he has no
Oh,
way
wow.
of putting a roof on a stadium. Who
You
do
gotta-
you
you
know
gotta
in
be more
Tuscaloosa,
clear, you know?
Alabama?
I mean, I don't know him well, but I'm asking anyway.
Who is it? Let me see.
Got to be
AJ
somebody.
McCarron.
There you go.
AJ McCarron. You're texting AJ
Star quarterback.
McCarron, who you have no relationship with, out of the blue.
Had him on once. I mean,
Asking to get
Friend of the show, you know.
I'm scrolling through my phone looking for anyone who played at Alabama. Anyone?
Okay.
We have our best people working on it, Stugotz and other people. So everyone, no need to tweet at Alabama.
Yeah,
No
don't
need
do
to
that.
call them up. They're just doing their jobs.
Just doing their jobs.
And one day they'll see me and say, "We're so happy you're here."
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully this weekend.
You've been getting more of that, right? People have been seeing you and saying, "We're happy you're here." Not necessarily the
Yeah.
people that work there, but
Florida was really happy to have me this weekend.
well, you're a part-time gator. Like I feel like you have like an honorary degree from there now.
Yeah, they send me so much stuff that it's like, well, okay, you have to be one of my favorite teams now.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram about to get a text. I mean,
Don't do that.
yeah. Did he play there? He did, right?
All right, so
Okay, good.
Lucy has a surprise for us. And we also have to do Lucy
and we
or
have
Goosey
Lucy or
still.
Goosey.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So I like to, every time I'm here at my apartment doing the show, I want to show you guys something weird I have in my apartment. I have a lot of weird things. This is my football that I disco tiled.
Wow.
Oh, wow,
Wait,
that's
you
so
did
cool.
Uh-huh.
Wow, how'd you do that?
I love disco tiling stuff. So I'll get it's a very tedious process, but I'll get like a roll of disco tiles or a sheet, and then you just put them on.
Okay.
This took a really long time, and I sliced up my fingers pretty bad, but it looks
Oh.
really cool.
Okay, well, I had a new game that I wanted to play, but when I heard that you slice up your fingers, I don't know that we should play the game.
what
what
was
is it?
Yeah.
This is a combination of segments,
Oh,
okay?
boy.
Ooh.
This is called Send Us Stuff for Lucy to Disco Tile. So you
Yeah,
send
I
us
love disco tiling stuff.
Send us a random object, and Lucy will disco tile that object for you.
I'm petrified of what objects are going to come in the mail now.
Same.
Why?
Because you said disco tile anything.
Yeah, anything.
Okay.
Why?
But anything is
Yeah, anything is
Very
really wide
broad.
open.
A
Yes.
plunger, a doorknob. It could be anything.
right. But Mike's worried about other stuff.
Yeah,
Rubber
exactly.
ducky.
Yes.
Could be anything.
Like if a Buffalo Bills fan sends something, I might be worried.
Anything within limit. You
Yeah,
know?
there you go.
Yeah.
Or like a jersey, a helmet. I mean,
Yeah.
we're fine.
Okay.
If we do so they need to be like solid items, like a jersey. I probably couldn't disco tile.
yeah.
I could definitely rhinestone, but I
Ooh,
couldn't
rhinestone.
disco.
But that's not the segment. It's disco
Yeah,
tile.
that's not the segment.
Yeah, that's a
We're
different
disco
segment
tiling.
entirely. Yeah.
What's the matter?
I
with
love
you?
disco tiles.
I'm trying to make people happy. She likes a
Football
disco
kicked your ass
tile.
this weekend. I feel like.
Why? Well, I told you.
because there was a lot. There was a lot of
Lucy,
it.
we
Too
were,
much.
we were
I mean,
talking about it.
I got to the Charger game last night. I'm like, hon, turn it off. I can't watch any more football.
Yeah.
Like, let's move on to something else. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, wait.
I caught up on the Golden
I've been
Bachelor
waiting
last
for this
night.
day my entire life. You told me to turn off football. I'm like, yeah. And the Chargers are going to win and cover. Game's over. Special agent. Get out of here.
Rough night for the
Can
special
I ask you
agent.
guys something?
Eckler,
Lucy,
though, big night.
You too?
Yeah.
Scoregamis can get the hell out of here. I'm
43 to 20.
I'm over
Scoregami.
that. Stupidest thing ever.
I hate it. Yeah.
It's just enough.
Dumb. Yeah.
How do you feel about Scott Hansen?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just okay.
Wow.
I'm warming up to him.
Well, aren't you friends with him too?
Yeah. Want me to text him about Alabama?
Yeah. See if you can get Lucy to Alabama.
Did he go there?
No. Anyway,
I got to be honest with you. I'm glad you brought up Hansen. It's good, not great. Siciliano was great, and I miss him. And I miss him dearly.
That's
Yes.
what I'm seeing from a lot
Yeah.
of the people that were Siciliano people.
Yeah.
Like
He was great.
every week it's trickling in that they're not in love with Scott Hansen. I've only known Scott Hansen, so I think he's great.
If you saw Andrew Siciliano, you would see it's just. Let me try to think of the right way to describe what Siciliano did.
Yeah.
It's early, and football got me.
It's late. It's 5.
It's late. You're
Yeah.
right. Early afternoon.
Long
man.
day. Yeah.
Right. Early evening.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Jinx. You can't talk at Jinx.
It was a lot more organized with Andrew. You knew exactly where you were going, where you were headed. And with Hansen, I feel like he has no idea and I have no idea.
Well, I was going to say
It's like a plane that's out of control.
Wait, what?
He's the pilot, and I feel like he's.
But he's not the pilot.
Right.
He's like
Yeah.
he's like the,
Siciliano, I got to be honest with you, Billy. I never felt like I was going to crash. I didn't.
I kind of like it though. I feel like Scott Hansen's
He's the
not
stewardess
the pilot.
with the microphone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. He's like the head
He's all over the
steward.
place. I mean,
yeah, he's just
On
telling us what's
Southwest,
going on.
though.
Yeah.
Trying to be funny. I mean, do me a favor. Just tell me the rules. I got to buckle my seatbelt. I got to put my tray table up and down. Don't tell me jokes, okay?
Huh.
Let's get through
I
it and then
disagree.
take off. What, you like the Southwest people?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You like a few jokes on your flight?
yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Lighten the mood.
Lucy or
Exactly.
Goosey? Sorry about that, Lucy.
Yeah, you've gotten way off track, Lucy.
Went off on
You're
a
fine.
tangent. Are you Lucy or Goosey on on flight attendants who tell jokes over the intercom system?
I'm goosey on that.
You are. Okay.
One time I had a flight attendant or like a pilot sort of do that while we were in a lot of turbulence.
Right.
I was like, this isn't funny. This
Yeah.
isn't.
Right.
Time and a
This
place.
feels really scary.
Right. Just fly the plane, sir.
Yeah. Or ma'am.
Please.
Right. I mean, sorry. Good save. Okay, Lucy or Goosey? Oregon with a big win. Now they have a loss here, but a big win at Utah. A convincing win. 35-6. Bo Nix firmly entrenched in that Heisman conversation. Lucy or Goosey?
I am so Lucy on this Oregon team. I I think right now, if they played Washington at a neutral site, even if they played Washington at Washington again, I think Oregon would win that game. I think they are the best team in the Pac-12. I had them as like a sneaky playoff contender, and I really think that is a good Oregon team. And even if it's not this year, I think Dan Lanning is like in that class of coaches that he will bring a national title to Oregon in the next 10 years.
All right, let's stay in the Pac-12. Why are you laughing, Billy?
Because of the reaction that's going to happen down here if they win a national championship in Oregon after Mario Cristobal left.
So great.
It's just going to be something.
It's so funny.
They almost lost to Virginia.
I mean, celebrating that
I
like
was
it
so
was a
close to
freaking
having
Super
Tony
Bowl.
Elliott on the show.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, my God.
A win's a win, Billy.
A win is not a win.
They all count the same,
Let me
except
tell
in
you,
college football
that was
where they
a
don't.
bad win, and they should. Billy's right. They should not have been celebrating after that win. They should have been running gassers. I mean, Jesus.
Well, I mean, I had people telling me how exciting the Clemson game was 2 weeks ago, and that was one of the best games I've ever. Like, guys, you should have blown out Clemson by 30 points. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, I'd say it would have been a great game like 5 years ago.
Yeah, when exactly.
They
right.
only ask how many, not how.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, let's stay in the Pac-12, Lucy. Washington, they remain undefeated, but as we discussed earlier, their wins the last couple of weeks have not been that impressive. Lucy or Goosey?
I still think they're a very good football team. I think their offense is amazing. It feels like just a weird funk. So I'm going to go Lucy and Goosey. I'm just going to go both.
Wow.
I'm like halfway on Washington.
Pick a
both
side.
sides.
Pick a side, Lucy.
Lucy is
No, I'm
Washington.
not. I never pick a side. That's my whole bit.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go halfway on Washington because they're flirting with a loss.
Okay.
They have not been convincing as of late. They still have Utah, USC, Washington State on the schedule. There's probably a loss in there if they keep this up. They're a good football team, but I don't think they're the best in the Pac-12. I think Oregon's better.
Are you rooting for a loss?
I won't say I'm rooting
You
for a
won't
loss.
mind it. If they
I'm
lose
rooting
and
for
they're out of the
chaos.
picture, you're fine.
Yeah, I want chaos for the last few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll get it. Last two here. Ohio State, big win at Wisconsin, 24-10. Ohio State still has to play Michigan, but they have beaten Penn State. Ohio State, Lucy or Goosey?
Okay, I'm going to clarify this one. They are Lucy, but they're not better than Michigan. The Wisconsin game was a lot closer than it looked. I don't think that's a big deal, though, because Wisconsin football they play a style of football where they always bring you down to their level, and that's just what they did to Ohio State. Their offense is not nearly as good as people think. Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than people think, and that's why, we think so highly of their offense. They will win out until they face Michigan, and I think they lose by double digits to Michigan.
All right, last one for you. We have about 30 seconds here, Lucy. Texas, they win. They beat BYU. Malik Murphy, the freshman, played pretty well in his first start at Texas. But the big news for Texas is Oklahoma lost. So Texas, Lucy or Goosey?
I'm going Lucy. They, funny enough, cut into the Texas game while they were playing BYU this weekend at the stadium and showed the final of the Oklahoma score, which is just like the best thing about college football. I know Quinn Ewers is out, but they have a really good, strong quarterback room. I'm not too worried about Texas. I think we'll most likely end up getting a rematch between Texas, Oklahoma, and the Big 12 championship game, which will be awesome. And I think Texas will probably win this time around. It's hard to beat a team twice.
All right, Lucy, we appreciate it as always. I'm glad you had fun at Florida, Georgia, and I will let you know if AJ McCarron gets back to me.
Ooh, wait, can we put on a poll this week where you're going to, or is that just a last week thing?
If we hear yes from Alabama, we're going to go to Alabama. But
Right.
if we do
No
not
poll.
hear yes
Right.
from Alabama, which no one said anything to Alabama unless you're Stugotz.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Nice.
no, don't.
And AJ.
Don't
right.
bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. Let's put it on
We're
the poll.
grateful
Should
for even
Alabama
the
get over
opportunity.
themselves? Yes or no?
We will not be putting
No?
that on the poll. That is
Nope.
not going to happen. That's a
Nope.
perfect example of how not to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to build a relationship with Alabama.
Exactly.
It takes a little time. We respect them.
Mm-hmm.
We get it.
Yep.
But
They were
please
number
say
3
yes.
in the BCS last week.
Yep. Well, they had a good weekend again this weekend.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
Oklahoma
they'll move
lost.
up. Yeah.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to be in the playoff. Lucy, we appreciate it. I'll let you know again if AJ gets back to me or Mark Ingram.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Stugotz,
Yes.
we are back where we normally are every week here in the last segment of the show. And we still have a bunch of segments that we haven't gotten to. We have BBBBBB.
What is
Billy's
that?
Bets Big Boards brought to you by.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we still need the sponsor. I've actually had people reaching out to me wanting to sponsor it,
Right.
and then I send it to Feldman.
And nothing gets done?
I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to have to call him and
So you were
lay down the law.
You were 3-0 a week ago.
Well, hold on, we haven't gotten to it yet, but yes, it was 3-0 a week ago. If you want to talk about that, I'm happy to oblige.
What's the matter?
What's this? 3-0? I know what I'm talking about.
I wanted to compliment God Bless Football here because you were 3-0 last week,
Correct.
and I over the weekend was 8-2 on Stugotz on my NFL pick.
So that's what this was about.
If you yes, it was all about me. If you follow me and Billy, you went 11-2 NFL bets from Monday until Sunday. How about that?
Well, how was college?
College 7-5?
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
Yeah.
Had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have your big board bets here.
I do have my big board bets, but
Yeah.
we'll save that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We still haven't gotten to Stroud, Richardson, or Young also, which is something that we've been doing all season long. And we were close to writing it off and just saying CJ Stroud won for the entire season. For those of you keeping score at home, right now we have had 8 of these, 8 weeks of Stroud, Richardson, and Young.
Right.
Right now the scoreboard is Stroud 6. We'll just say Stroud 6. I'll just tell you.
No. It was Stroud 6, Richardson 1, Young 1. That was
Bagent
it.
won.
No, it wasn't.
No, Bagent had 1.
Well,
You're
yeah,
right.
but
Bagent.
I
So
ruined-
Bagent had his 1. He'll never win again. And now you have to throw Will Levis in there.
Well, here's
okay?
the thing. I ruined the punchline because I was going to give it to Bryce Young yesterday because I feel like he had a better game than CJ Stroud and it was our Super Bowl. And then I was going to give you the scoreboard, which is Stroud 6, Young 1, Bagent 1.
Okay.
But now we've done that on the front end. So, punchline ruined.
But he didn't win yesterday. Will Levis won yesterday.
Yes.
Will Levis was not part of it.
Well, no,
Why
but he is
not?
now. He's a
No.
rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. He's
Whoa.
He
in.
wasn't part of it yesterday.
How do you not include Mike?
Yeah, this is not.
Mikey,
you're not
healthy.
following the rules.
He wasn't part of it yesterday.
No. Will Levis is in there.
Billy.
Will Levis is in there.
He
We
had
know
an
this is your
all-time
game.
for a
Yeah.
rookie.
You know what? We'll take it into consideration. We'll report
What do you
back next week.
mean?
We'll report back next week.
No.
We'll report back next week.
No. Well, technically, Malik Willis started that game, right?
No.
Quick hook for him. I think he did. Yes, and then he came
They
in.
were using both of them, I think. But
Yeah.
Will Levis started throwing touchdowns. and that
He's
was
the
it.
only one that has a pass acknowledged here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not going to start it this week. You'll take it under advisement, and you'll get back to us next week.
You know what?
What?
I heard from the committee.
Wait, really? You spoke to him that quickly?
Will Levis won
Wow.
the week. So
Yes!
Bryce Young is back to 0, unfortunately.
Rough week for Bryce.
He won the Super Bowl. He won the
did.
Stroud Young Super Bowl and still didn't win the week, which isn't just
Amazing.
What a shame. Let me update the scoreboard here. Hold on.
What is the score now, Mikey? Do you know the score? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
Stroud
what he's
6,
doing,
Bagent 1, Levis 1, Young 0, Richardson 0. There were some close ones. He almost got some here and
Right.
there, but now he's
Right.
out for the season.
Keep trying, Young. You'll get there.
Yeah.
but- Right. The guy just refuses to listen to Trevor Lawrence. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
crazy.
It. And
By
the
the way,
Jaguars are
Jaguars.
sneaking good.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, where did they come from?
6-2, the Jags.
I feel like we wrote them off and they didn't
Right.
write back or
Yes.
whatever that thing was that.
Yeah. They wrote him off, but they didn't
Gino.
write back. something
Yeah,
like
Gino
that.
said.
Yeah, whatever Gino said.
You know what I'm talking about?
By the way, quickly, Julio Jones.
By the way, quickly, DeAndre Hopkins
So Julio Jones
on
catches
my
a
bench.
So
I'm an
Julio
idiot.
Jones catches
Sorry.
a touchdown yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You know what my first thought was?
What?
Oh man, it's a big tight end they got. Had no idea it was Julio Jones. Saw it on Twitter after. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
How'd the Eagles get Julio Jones?
They signed him like 2 weeks ago.
By the way, A.J. Brown, I think it's 6 consecutive games of 125 plus yards, which is incredible. And Peter King tweeted out that Jerry Rice has never had a 6-game stretch like A.J. Brown is having right now.
Yeah.
That's incredible. A.J. Brown is a freak, man.
He yelled at Jalen Hurts and it all turned around.
I'll tell you one other thing. Tariq Hill is the MVP. I don't care wide receiver. I don't care about the position. Tariq Hill is the best player in the NFL non-quarterback division, and he's been the MVP this year. He's on his way to 2,000 yards, and I'm not certain what the Dolphins' record would be without him. I'm serious. Like, he's that good.
Yeah.
Yep, MVP. I have top 5 quarterbacks, Billy, before we get to your bets for tonight.
Wow, that's exciting.
I have top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 guys
Just top 5 quarterbacks.
who might be the next Vikings quarterback.
Even more exciting.
So
I was just
exciting.
exciting at top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now I'm really excited.
Now
I mean-
I'm hooked.
Kirk Cousins out for the year, torn Achilles. So we'll see what happens with him moving
you
forward.
never know.
Right.
You never know.
Should be back for round 2 of the playoffs.
Ask Aaron.
Jesus, how is he doing that? Stay off the field. I mean, Zach's doing fine.
Zach's
I heard a crazy conspiracy theory that he was
what?
never hurt. Yeah. I heard a crazy conspiracy theory that he was never hurt.
What?
Yeah. That they were just like saving him for a run.
Why?
I don't know. It
That's
was TikTok. It's
a
ridiculous.
very weird.
Yeah.
What? Because
It's not worth anything. Just top 5 quarterbacks. that
No,
could
but
be
he
the
may
next
not
Vikings
be in a
quarterback.
I
position
like
to make a
I like
run.
it. It doesn't seem like he was very hurt or hurt at all.
Correct.
Like,
He's out there throwing,
So
twisting
now-
on the leg.
So they're building Zach's confidence here. I like it.
For what reason?
Building the trade value.
Billy, they would have won that game 42.
Vikings.
Vikings need a quarterback.
They would have beat the Giants 42-10 yesterday. They would have.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers do anything as a Jet.
Oh. The guy Thibodeau is he's pretty good. Huh, Mikey?
Pretty good.
He's the Giants' best offensive player. I mean,
Yeah.
we had him on before the draft.
I was going to say,
remember?
God bless football alum.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, top 5 guys who might be the next Vikings quarterback. You ready?
Yeah.
OLI, Desmond Ridder. OLI,
Oh, gosh.
Taylor Heineke. One of those two is going to be the starting quarterback in Atlanta. I have no idea which one. They don't have any idea which one. You have to start a quarterback. They're going to start a quarterback, and therefore one of the two that they don't start has a good chance of being the Vikings' next quarterback.
So you're just hedging.
I am.
Instead of you deciding who's going to be the Falcons quarterback,
Right.
you're just.
I'm
they'll
saying
decide.
whichever one is not has a good chance of going to the Vikings. That's
Eddie-
all I'm saying.
Eddie play.
In
Yeah.
fairness, if they
He's
haven't
gonna be right.
if they haven't decided, why is it up to you to decide?
Oh.
It's not your job to decide the Falcons quarterback; it's their job.
I'm just saying whoever they decide on,
Yeah,
the
the other
other
one.
one's going to
Gotcha.
Minnesota. That's
Yeah.
it, or has a chance.
That
Number
makes
5.
sense.
Thank you. Number 5, not Tommy DeVito. That guy's bad. Number 4, RG3.
but RG3, nothing.
I'm putting a guy who's not going to go there on a list of guys that might go there.
Yeah,
I know, Billy. Sorry.
RG3.
He said on the show he's ready to come back.
Yeah,
He did. He did. Vikings are good. Number 3, Ryan Tannehill. His days in Tennessee are over.
Oh, not numbered. They're over.
Over.
Okay.
Yes. Will Levis.
I see that.
He's the guy now. Okay. So Tannehill could be the Vikings' next quarterback. Number 2, he was in the booth for the worst game in NFL history last night or yesterday. Also a former Falcon. Matt Ryan.
Wow.
Do they just keep making him do Jets games so
Yes.
that he could just come down at some point
Him and
put a
Tiki
helmet on and
Barber.
be like, forget it, I got this.
So he knows the offense, yeah. Which is
That's
terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
so-
he knows the offense.
Those guys had to work yesterday. I'm telling you. Iron Eagle, Tiki, and Matt Ryan, they were working hard because there was not a lot to talk about with that game.
We cut to the booth, everybody's sweating.
Oh, Ian was doing like stand-up. I mean,
He's not doing stand up.
he's funny though.
I don't like him.
Yes, you do.
No, we had a run in. I'm not a fan of his. Guy's a jerk. What? Who said that?
You don't want your flight attendants doing jokes, but you want
Thank
your
you.
commentators.
Exactly right.
In that game, yes.
Mikey gets it. No, because that plane was a train
Listen,
wreck.
Mikey,
or that game.
if we're hovering around the airport and nothing's happening for 4 hours, then someone tell a joke. I'm good with it.
You would not be good with someone telling a joke if you're hovering around the airport for 4 hours.
No,
You'd
you
be
would
like,
not.
Land
That's
this
when it's
plane.
not funny.
That's when
Right.
it's the least funny.
I know. But someone's got to do something. And Ian had to do something. So we did a set of stand-up. I mean, it was great. At the Jets and Giants expense. At Tommy DeVito's. Poor Tommy. Number 1.
Oh, I thought we did that already.
I did too. It was Matty Ice, Matt
Got it.
Ryan. Number 1, before we get to Billy's Big Boards bets,
Billy's
brought to
Bets,
you
Big
by
Boards brought to
somebody,
you by, yeah.
something. Yes.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Wow. I feel like it's the same joke as Matt Ryan.
What's that?
I feel like it's the same.
yeah,
Matt
but you know,
Ryan.
you didn't
Well,
make the list, and
it
we
is.
talked about it earlier.
Kaepernick.
No, Andy Dalton does not
Oh, the
is
Red
not
Rifle.
a bad.
The Red Rifle.
It's
Not
not a
bad.
bad look because you have Addison, you
Yeah.
got Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
and they're 0-6 anyway. So you might as well get all the draft capital you can. Well, 1-6 now, but you get all the draft capital you can, and then you're going to trade out of that first pick anyway because you got Bryce Young. So
Why do they trade for Trey Lance?
Dallas already has him. But I will tell you, when you talk about Jefferson,
Dallas
Addison,
already has him as though you haven't been sending this 2 starting quarterbacks for Atlanta there.
maybe.
Dak Prescott, future quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
I will say this: Addison, Jefferson, and Hawkinson. Like quarterbacks are going to be sprinting to that. Like Phillip Rivers wants that job.
if I was Andy Dalton,
begging for it.
if I'm Andy
Yes.
Dalton, I'm like, hey, can you like this isn't going anywhere,
I
guys.
guess
You know,
Brady
like,
might want it. I mean,
Trey Lance is from Minnesota, some home cooking.
yeah.
he also stinks.
Keep an eye on Aaron Rodgers also if we're going to follow the Favre footsteps.
You stop it.
All right, Billy's Bets Big Boards brought to you by To Be Determined. We don't have one yet. So, anyways, last week, guys, we went 3-0. These are bets. I'm not in a sports betting state. Now,
Okay,
if
right.
I were,
But if
these
you
are bets
were,
that I would be
yeah.
inclined to make. Possibly, if I felt strongly about. Here we go. First one, Lions minus 7.5.
Lions
today.
minus 7.5 on the game tonight. That
you know
is
why?
why?
Because of an extra 3 Bs. Billy's Bets Big Board's brought to you by Lions. Big bounce back.
Okay,
That's
big
what's gonna
bounce
happen
back.
today. Yeah,
All right.
big bounce back.
5-2, taking on the Raiders. Garoppolo is playing. Billy is saying take him minus 7.5 if he was in a gambling state. That's all,
right,
he's saying.
next one. Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns today.
Goff over 1.5 touchdowns against the Raiders. I like that.
You know
That's a
why?
good
Oh,
one.
David Montgomery. I can see it.
You know why? Guys, you weren't listening. Big bounce back. Another 3 Bs.
Big
Yeah,
bounce back.
big
That's
bounce
right.
back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was listening. I just forgot.
I was doing some work over here. I'm sorry.
What work were you doing? I mean, this is what we're doing here.
Well, you have 25 seconds to finish this.
All right, and the final one
Big finish.
of the week. We've been talking 3 Bs, big bounce back.
Right.
The line is 46.5.
The over-under.
I'm going under
Wow.
46.5. No big bounce back here. The Lions have only had 2 games this season go over 46.5 combined. The Raiders have had 1. No big bounce back in terms of the points today.
All right. Listen, the man was 3-0 last week. I don't know what to tell you.